Now in this video we're going to look at tabs in Word. Now you may have seen these before, you may not, but on your keyboard you'll know that you do have an actual tab character. And what happens in Word when you use the tab key? Well, let me put my cursor at the bottom here. I'll press enter and then I'll press the tab key. And then when I press tab, the cursor moves across. When I tab again and again and again, okay, it's moving across. Now, as I showed earlier, we need to see what's actually going on in Word here. Otherwise, it gets very difficult to actually work out what we need to do. So to do that, we turn on the show hide characters like so. And then, as we can see here, where I just tabbed 5 times, we have this arrow. That arrow is the hidden marker for a tab key. So if I delete these and then do them again, as you can see, that's what the tab is doing. And we can actually set tabs in Word. Now, the easiest way to set tabs is if I look up here on the top of the vertical ruler, I have this left tab marker here. Now, if I left click on that, it then changes to a center tab marker, to a right tab marker, to a decimal point marker, and so on and so forth. And these are the left indents, hanging indents, and what have you. Now, I'm going to keep it on the left tab marker. Now, if I place my cursor in where it says header 1, header 2, header 3, header 4, etc., and then with my mouse cursor, I left click on the ruler, as you can see, that left tab marker is inserted there. Okay, and well, I've got 1, 2, I've got 5 columns. Now, if I come 2 centimeters across to 4 and left click, into 6 and left click, into 8 and left click, and to 10 and left click. Wonderful. Now what happens if I put my cursor after the space there, remove the space and tab, that's what happens. It goes across to that point, do the same again, do the same again, do the same again. Fantastic. And now, if I scroll up, it's not going to let me go that far. If I just insert random text, 10 paragraphs, it will now let me go to that point. And as I can see, it's tabbed to exactly the right point. I put one too many in there. So if I left click and drag that tab marker off into the document and release, it gets rid. So now if I move this tab, look what happens there. Okay, fantastic. So now I come down to the next row because I want the same thing to happen. So I put my cursor there and I delete and I press tab. Look what's happened. Why is that? Again, like I said before, when we apply these kinds of what are called character formatting, it only applies to the characters selected, or in the case of tabs, to the paragraph selected. So when I left click in row 1, I don't see any tab marks on the ruler. However, if I left click in header, I see the tab marks. And the reason is that was applied to only that particular paragraph, which is a bit of an annoyance, catches you out, but there you go. So if I want this same tab stop to apply to all of them, what I do is I select the text to which it needs to apply. Now look what happens when I left click, I unselect because I've made my selection. I can see that it's grayed out. Now if I very, very carefully left click, look what happened to row 1. Let me undo that. It just jumped. If I left click on that, and I left click on 4, and I left click on 6, and I left click on 8, now you can see that they're now no longer grayed out because it's applied to all of them, yeah? And now all I need to do is get rid of the space and replace it with a tab. And there we go. there's my beautiful tabbed table. And if I select the text again and I want to move that tab space and that tab space and that tab space, and I want to do it like so, and I do it like so, and then I turn off show hide characters, there I have my perfectly aligned table. And if you've ever done this for your tabs, you now know the best way to do it.